Welcome to Coffee with Patty. This is by far my most interesting and amazing episode. I have a very special guest, my son, Kaivon.
Hi.
So welcome, Kaivon.
Hi, Mom.
It's so great to be here. It was a rainy day yesterday, so I was worried we'd get caught in the rain, but everything's fine, and you're visiting LA now, and it's a perfect time. You just had your tour, your first tour, Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll talk about that more later. But thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
I hope it's not too embarrassing being on your mom's show.
Happy to be here. Very proud of you and what you're doing.
Especially an amateur podcaster.
No, you're becoming a pro.
Okay. Well, thanks for being here.
Mm-hmm.
You've had a million interviews. What was the most interesting question you were asked on an interview in the past?
Most interesting question. I find that I'm asked the same questions a lot. The most interesting one might be, I don't know. That's a tough one. I feel like I'm constantly asked, like, what inspired you to make music and who are your favorite artists and things like that. So I feel like I haven't been asked a lot of questions that go deeper than that.
Well, that would be a good question to start with. Like, what inspired you to get into this type of music, being a DJ and a music producer?
Yeah, so I wasn't really that into music until I think it was when you started playing like Black Eyed Peas on the CD for me in the car.
Yeah,
It was when
with all your friends.
Yeah, on CD, which was cool. And then I feel like my passion grew for music in high school. I got really into Eminem. That was like my first diehard fan I was of. And then I slowly got into EDM. Somehow I started listening to it online. And then when I was 18, Coachella happened and all my friends went the first weekend and I didn't. And I felt left out for some reason and just determined to go by myself. And I don't know why that drive was so powerful in me to go to Coachella by myself. I just wanted to experience the music for some reason. And then I saw EDM music live for the first time and felt energy I'd never felt before and felt like I belonged and this electricity, no pun intended. And that's when I really started diving into EDM music when I was about 18. And then I started going to Hard Summer in LA. And the second time I went to Hard Summer, I was watching a performance and I met a total stranger and we were just having a great time. And he just said, imagine what it'd be like to be on that stage. And then something just clicked in my head. And I was like lost in college at the time. And I thought, man, that would be so cool. Like that's a cool dream to have because obviously my dream of becoming an NBA player wasn't happening. So I was like searching for a new dream. And then I downloaded music software the next day. I think you helped me get it. It was this software called Logic.
Oh, Logic.
It was the first one because Logic was $200 and Ableton was like $600 or $700 at the time. So yeah, that's what started the whole journey in a very rough, short story.
Did you actually go to Coachella alone?
So I ended up going with, last minute, I was friends with Shant. My friend Shant. And we'd only hung out a couple times. But spontaneously, we were texting and he was going and he offered me a ride. And I said, sure. And then we became best friends through that. But without Shant, I would have been going alone. But then I ended up spending the weekend with Shant and his cousin. I think it was his cousin or friend.
Okay.
And then...
and how old were you at that point?
18.
You were 18?
Yeah. Okay. But there was moments where I was completely alone at Coachella, just walking around, interacting with strangers. And that's also what brought me into EDM, I think, was because I was making friends with total strangers and felt like completely safe and not alone, even though I technically was walking around alone. I didn't feel like it.
There's really something to it, being at the festivals.
The community aspect.
Wow. So that's interesting. I didn't know the next day you wanted to buy the equipment and started working on it.
Yeah, after
Yeah.
hard summer, I downloaded music software when I was going to college
Mm-hmm.
at LMU and started.
Okay. Well, I can attest to the fact that you've always been singing. Even when you were little, you started singing Bocelli or Pavarotti or something when you were like, you're not even one yet.
Mhm.
We're like looking and you're singing. And then you'd always sing the songs from school and stuff and whistle. So that's so cool. I love to hear that. And I love how music brings us together into
Mhm.
unity.
Yep.
It's really powerful. And I've actually seen it when I go to your shows. And I always go to the back of the stage or all the way in the back, even if it's a big festival. And I just look at people and they're happy and, and they're relating to each song. And it's just so powerful. So I'm so glad that you did it.
Yeah.
And he said, imagine. So you imagined it.
Mm-hmm.
And that should be one of your titles to your songs.
Yeah.
Imagine, because you imagined it and then you made it happen.
Yes.
So that's really cool. What do you think is the best decision you've ever made in your life?
The best decision I ever made. That's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
Probably just I've made the decision over and over again when I've been down and out and felt hopeless to just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
And I've made that decision a lot of times. And I still make that decision. And I feel like most people do. So yeah, the best decision I made was just keep trying.
Keep going.
Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Yeah.
Yep. One of your songs is 77 and on your jersey is 77.
Mm-hmm.
What does that stand for?
7's just always been my favorite number. And so I just chose 77. There's not really a
77.
deep philosophical meaning behind it.
So there's a song 77 degrees or something?
Yeah, that
Or
just worked really.
that just worked into it somehow?
That just was a nice synchronicity that happened. Kini Solana wrote the lyrics, and she had 77 in it, and I was like, oh, well, that fits perfectly.
All right. That's great. Do you have a favorite childhood memory?
I think playing video games for some reason, like playing Pokemon and just like that childlike wonder of playing games with friends. Not only video games, but just like outdoor sports and stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
Just my fondest memories of just like playing games in general.
Games.
And I still love games, but back then it was there was more community back then.
Mm-hmm.
Now you could still play games now, but I feel like it's a bit of slim pickings, or I don't put myself out there enough to just randomly be playing games with people all the time.
Right. Yeah, I remember we'd pile like 10 people into your bedroom and you guys would be playing games and kind of just like messing around and jumping around and stuff and playing basketball.
And looking back at it, I think the reason I liked it so much and why I still like them is you're just ultra present when you're playing games. You're not thinking about what happened earlier that day or what's supposed to happen in the future. You're just in the moment.
In the game.
Yeah, so that's why I'm just constantly craving things that bring me in the moment these days.
Yeah, being present can be pretty hard. And so I think playing games, even though it's mindless, you're thinking about it and you're not thinking about other things. So that's a good thing to do. You've had quite a few different albums, right? Can you name them? The first album?
Yeah, the first album was called Awakening. And then I did an album called Ultraviolet. And then I just put out The Dark Night of the Soul. And today, it was just about a week ago.
About a week ago.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain that? Because when I know you moved to Florida, Kaivon moved to Florida, and I was talking to some of his friends, and they were like, yeah, Kaivon wrote an album, and it actually tells a story. And I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And so it just came out. So I haven't been able to listen to every single word of the song to figure it out. I was at your first tour the other night. But can you explain to me how that came together? Yeah,
I did a more proper explanation of it, and I wrote it down, and I have it written down in the vinyl I'm putting out, like a whole description of the story in depth. But more or less, The Dark Night of the Soul is a spiritual term that there's definitions for it online that can explain it much better than I can.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically Eckhart Tolle's definition of it.
Mm-hmm.
And the dark night of the soul is essentially the moment in your life where everything collapses and like everything you thought gave meaning to your life disappears and you just feel completely lost and hopeless, essentially. And basically the darkest part of your entire life is the
Mm-hmm.
dark night of the soul. And people either don't make it out of that, they die, or they make it through.
Mm-hmm.
And so this album tells the story of making it through that
Mm-hmm.
point.
In a really cool way.
Hopefully.
Yeah, like hallucinating those different ones. It's like it really brings you through the journey. From
Right.
what
So
yeah.
that's kind of, I feel like my dark night of the soul. Everyone I feel like can look back at the darkest moment of their
Mm-hmm.
life and how they didn't think they were going to make it out of it, and they
Mm-hmm.
did. And for me, it was when I came back to live home,
Mm-hmm.
and it felt like I was hallucinating 24/7,
Mm-hmm.
and the world immediately felt completely foreign to me,
Mm-hmm.
and uncomfortable and like unbearable, essentially. So yeah, the story of like the album track list coincides with my personal story of what my dark night of the soul was like.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it can relate to others as well, hopefully.
So at the other side, you came out of it. So
Mhm.
how do you feel like you came out of it? What do you attribute to your pushing through
I think
and
really trusting that I was divinely guided and that
Mhm.
there was a power greater than myself
Mhm.
guiding me, and that everything's happening for a reason. Like, I feel like there's kind of two ways to look at life. It's just random and there's no rhyme or reason to it, or everything bad that's happened to you or good is happening for a reason that leads to you to your like divine purpose.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, you can either look at life like with a sort of negative random view, or with a positive view. Because if you look back at it, all the horrible things that have happened in your life led you to a better place.
Right.
In the moment, it's hard because you're like, why am I going through this horrible thing right now? But then in retrospect, it always leads you to the right path.
Mhm. Yeah. And I ever since you were a little boy, you always had really hard questions.
Mm-hmm.
And one day we're in the car, Kaivon's in the front seat, Faith, my daughter's in the back seat in her little car seat. And you said, "Who's God's mom?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, good question." And then you're like, "How do you know there's a God if you can't see him?" And Faith's like, "You feel him in your heart."
Yeah.
I'll never forget that day. But you always asked the hard questions and thought about things deeply. And I think that's why it's so powerful to watch you when you're on, because I see your fans, and I don't want to embarrass you, but there's one fan named their daughter your middle name.
Mm-hmm.
Her middle name was Kaivon.
Mm-hmm.
And several people got the tattoo of you on their arms. That's pretty big. I mean, that's like not every day you hear that.
Yeah.
And I had so many people when I've been in the crowd saying, "Are you Kaivon's mom?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "He helped me so much. He helped me through my hardest time." And I remember when you were going through a hard time, and you know how they feel, and they can feel that.
Yeah.
And so whether you know it or not, you've helped a lot of people
Yeah.
deeply. And I can see it when I see them in the crowd, and they're so free when they're listening to your songs, and they're dancing, and they're just so happy, and that warms my heart even more than watching you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just watching the crowd, and it's like, wow, they're happy.
Yeah.
So I'm so proud of you.
Thank
I mean,
you.
it's really wonderful what you're doing, and I think you're evolving more and more. But even your first song, Reborn, was like amazing. It was just an amazing song. But you keep kind of going with the flow of your journey, and I can't wait to see what happens in the future.
Thank you.
But you have a tour coming up, so you're going to be busy all year, pretty much, and some festivals. So, question. If you could do one thing that you've never done before, what would that be?
That is a good question. Something I've never done before. I think maybe seriously solo travel, like
Mm.
go to Europe or Australia or Japan or something like
Mm-hmm.
that and travel by myself. Um, yeah, I think that could be rewarding, and that's something I should do before it's too late.
Japan, you'd stick out.
Maybe.
I did when I went there.
Yeah.
Well, you went there once when you were little.
Right.
But,
Yeah.
But to go solo travel, I think
Mhm.
that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the best piece of advice that you've ever been given?
Probably by Eckhart Tolle, which is when he said that you are not your thoughts, but the observer of your thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'd always had such crazy thoughts growing up, and I always thought my thoughts were who I was.
Mm-hmm.
And once he told me I was not my thoughts, it was like a huge weight lifted
Mm-hmm.
off my shoulders. So definitely just coming to the realization that I'm not my thoughts. I'm the observer.
Mm-hmm. And you're not your body either.
And you're not your body
So you
either.
wrote a song about that. So yeah.
You're not your body or your thoughts.
Yep, that's true.
Yep. So you're something deeper than that. And that's something else I've come to realize is I've always been trying to figure things out, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why am I here? Why all this kind of stuff. And then I've learned to be comfortable with not knowing is the key.
Mm-hmm.
To be comfortable with not knowing.
Yep. And just trusting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know you've had a lot of coaches and teachers. Do you have like a favorite teacher, and what did they teach you? And do you have a favorite coach?
Favorite coach, Jason Hirschman.
I knew you'd say that. Hi, Jason, if you're watching.
Yeah, he was my favorite coach
He was
in
a good coach.
basketball. I feel like he taught me the most important lessons while also having the most fun.
Mm-hmm. Great guy.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So he was my favorite coach. Favorite teacher. Had a lot of good teachers. I don't think one sticks out, but I'm grateful for all the good teachers, all the bad teachers, all the good coaches, all the bad coaches, because they all taught me lessons.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they were good or bad, they were part of my journey that I'm grateful for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that. So recently, like a year ago, you did something different. And what did you do?
What did I do?
You bought a house.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. A lot's
That was another
happened.
thing you were searching. A lot's happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did, yeah.
So how do you like being a homeowner?
It's awesome. I love it. I feel like I used to get emotional a lot, and then I just got a lot of my emotions out, and then I didn't cry as much as I used to.
Mm-hmm.
But when I got my house, I was emotional again.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't really been emotional like that since then, because it was just a feeling of freedom and relief.
And accomplishment.
Yeah.
And
'cause
everything.
I've always felt so unstable and insecure, and that brought a lot of security until there was like, oh, there's hurricanes coming now.
No, right.
And I was
Like
so
2 months later.
it lasted about a month.
Yeah.
But no, I still feel secure,
Yeah.
even with natural disasters and stuff, because I trust that I'm being divinely guided
Yes.
and that a material thing isn't going to bring you security.
Right.
It feels great, but it's also not. I'm trying not to bank I understand that's not going to bring you happiness. Nothing material has ever brought me fulfilling peace.
No. Yeah, that's so true. So they said in 101 years, nothing's ever happened in where you live. And then the one, as soon as you move in 101 years, and then it happened twice.
Yeah.
But thank God it hasn't happened again. And so maybe it won't happen again for another 101 years. It's supposed to be, I think, guided by some spirits that lived there or something many years ago.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. And then there's something else that you have done recently, or
My
that you
son.
got. Yes. You want to talk about him? We'll put a
Maui.
picture of him. He's
Yeah.
the cutest dog in the world.
my son Maui.
Yes.
And he's taught me a lot.
Mm.
A lot.
Like,
I didn't realize how hard it was going to be
yeah.
because I've always dreamed of having a dog.
Mm-hmm.
And he's amazing. And he's also a lot of work.
Yeah. He's the cutest dog ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a golden retriever, and I think he's 10 months old now.
Yeah.
Yeah. April 11, he'll be a year.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. He's so sweet.
Yes.
So yeah, dogs are a lot, especially puppies. When you get a puppy, it's like raising a child.
Yeah.
It really is.
It's definitely a combination of love and also sometimes he drives me crazy, but
Yeah.
I'm
was
not
meant to
lonely
be.
really anymore.
Yeah.
I used to be, I'm still lonely, but not like I was.
Yeah.
Because
Only with
he's
the helper.
always there.
He's always there, and he'll just come up and plop on you. He's just
Yeah.
like so cute. Well, I hope that you can learn to walk him more, because I know he always bites on the leash. But
Yeah.
someday you can go for long walks, hopefully.
Yeah, we're working on it.
Yeah. So if there's one thing you could tell the listeners, especially people that grew up like you with more anxiety and stuff, what would you tell them at the point where you were having your struggles? What would you tell them now?
Essentially, don't take life so seriously.
Mhm.
I always took life so ultra seriously and everything mattered so much.
Yes.
But when you really take a step back and think about it, this is just like a dance or a play. Like we're spiritual beings just having a fun dance or play as a human
Mm-hmm.
is how I like to look at it. So just don't take things so seriously and don't listen to your thoughts because they're not rational.
They're not.
And they're shaped by how you were brought up and things like that
Yeah.
that are out of your control or how you were wired
Mhm.
chemistry wise. And
Mm-hmm.
so just don't take your thoughts so seriously and don't take life so seriously and just enjoy it as much as you can.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting when I ask people that story because so many people, they think everybody is thinking about them and they're so worried about things. And most of the time, people aren't thinking about what you're doing or what you did. And even if there's a big thing that gets attention, they
Mhm.
forget about it soon. Everybody, stops thinking about it. So what would you like to just teach people about what you know and where you're at? You just turned 30. What would you like to teach them or tell them, or like a saying that you have that helps you, or
Mhm.
just
Well-
words of advice on how to get through stuff?
Well, I'd start off
When-
by saying I don't have everything figured out.
Mhm.
And if someone says they do, I wouldn't trust them.
Right. Yeah.
But I'd say that don't trust your thoughts, or just observe your thoughts. Basically, to become the observer and realize who you truly are, and constantly ask yourself that question, like, who am I? Who is the I am
Mm-hmm.
behind all these thoughts?
Mm-hmm.
And just to be present as much as possible.
Yeah, that's good advice.
And just trust.
And trust. Yeah.
You're being divinely guided.
Yeah, that's really good. There's been times in my life I've listened to your music and it's helped me because I'm kind of a nervous driver or different times. And then I'll just turn your music on and it's like, okay, thank you. That makes sense. Even on the way here today, I was listening to your Dark Night of the Soul songs. And thank you for that, because I think that can help a lot of people. Everybody's searching and trying to figure things out. There's so much information out there, but music and listening to music from somebody that thought deeper than a lot of people or they have at the current time can be helpful. Like you're almost like could be an Eckhart totally for someone else because you're younger and stuff. So I really appreciate your music and all your thoughts.
Thank you.
If you could go back and change one thing, what would that be?
Mm, I wouldn't change anything, but sometimes I wish I'd played a individual sport rather than a team sport.
Mm-hmm.
Because I dedicated my whole life to basketball pretty much up until music,
Mm-hmm.
and I learned a lot from it, but I also feel like I could have excelled more at an individual sport and not have to dealt with all the politics of it, and maybe make a career out of like playing golf or tennis or something like that.
Yeah.
But I honestly, bottom line, I wouldn't change anything.
Well, I can attest that I think you would have been a fantastic tennis player or golfer, but you were really good at basketball too.
Yeah.
And now you're playing volleyball.
Mm-hmm.
So it's never too late, maybe
Yeah.
to be in the NBA or whatever it is. But I understand that. I
Yeah.
get that. Do you have any questions for me? Excited. I don't think I have any more.
What's your favorite part about doing the podcast?
I love to hear people's stories and to listen to what they have to say. And I like the process. I know you.
Mm-hmm.
I've known you your whole life, so I didn't really have to study you because I already know so much. I really thought carefully about the questions I wanted to ask you,
Mm-hmm.
and mostly to help people.
Mm-hmm.
And I've found that I love to help the helpers, and you're a helper.
Mm-hmm.
And you've helped me in some of my toughest times, and you give really good sound advice. And you're my biggest encourager on the podcast, so I really thank you for that. But I love everything about the podcast. I love how it's evolving, and mostly it's connecting helpers to helpers.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just super thankful that I can do this, and super thankful that I could have you on, because that's like a dream, because I was like, I can't believe my son is doing this, and I knew that it would turn out okay. But I really, really hope that this helps people to hear this. And do you have any future plans? Going after the Dark Night of the Soul tour, are you planning anything else, or?
I really enjoy making other genres of music besides EDM.
Right.
And I think it would be fun to have a project where I just make retro music, essentially, like either 80s or 70s or 60s music, and either sing myself or play instruments from that time period.
Well, you've done that.
Yeah, I did briefly.
So we can put the August link in there, because August is Kaivon's middle name, and he did that during COVID, and they were pretty cool.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed them.
I enjoyed it too.
How many songs did you do total, would you say?
I only put out 3.
Oh, 3?
But I have I think 3 just collecting dust that I made.
Oh,
and maybe I'll put out
those
someday for August.
Yeah. So we'll put the link in here to August on Spotify.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys can listen to it, because I think that could be something really, really super fun.
Yeah. So I'd want to do a project again. I don't know if I'd totally change like the Kaivon project and make that a new genre, or if I would start a new project, or if I would revive the August project. But I have aspirations of making music that's not EDM. And that excites me.
I like that, because that's totally original. The thing I like about EDM is you can take any song and remix it and do really cool stuff to it. And you've done some really cool remixes, which I just love. So that's really fun. But original is really great too.
Yeah.
And you just can't beat the 80s, 70s, 80s music.
Yeah. Now that I bought a car from the 80s, I imagine myself, I thought it'd be a cool concept to imagine making music for playing in my car. And that could kind of be the basis for the project.
Yeah. We'll put a picture of the car in. And you've also made like video games, and you've made cards, like baseball cards or whatever, but you've made them with your music on it. You've done video games, and you have
Mhm.
a major collection of vintage, like TVs, video games, computers,
Yeah,
and you're really. I think you should start like a business somehow that you have
maybe,
all that
yeah.
vintage stuff and do vintage things.
Yeah, I love
You're an old
retro.
soul. You've always been an old soul.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love retro technology, and I think because it brings you to a simpler time.
Mm-hmm.
We're so overwhelmed with options now
I know.
that I miss going to a video store and picking out a video, and that was your video
Mm-hmm.
for the week.
Yep.
Not going on Netflix and you have a million options.
I know. And yeah, it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
But before it was like one cool movie for the weekend and we'd
Mhm.
watch it. Or sometimes you could rent video games or
Yeah,
something
renting
at
one
a
video
Hollywood
game.
Video.
Yeah, it's my
Yeah.
fondest memories.
Yeah.
That's one of my other fondest memories, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Going to the
Going to
Hollywood
Hollywood Video
Video.
with the big gumball machine.
Yep.
I think it was a
With
quarter.
Baskin Robbins next door.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You had a good childhood.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. So if there's nothing else, I just want to thank you so much for being on the podcast. And I want to put some really cool things in here to showcase you and show what you're all about. But thank you so much for being on.
Thank you, Mom.
And I love you.
Yes.
God bless you.
I love you so much. Thanks
Okay.
for having me, and I'm so proud of you and so excited to keep watching your podcasts and be a part of this one.
Thank you.
Yeah.